All right, so we're going to start with just quickly browning, or if you're brave enough to, you're still grilling, which on a day like today or yesterday, you could certainly be doing some grilling. And we've got some Italian sausages that I'm just going to quickly, we don't have to cook them through, we're just going to brown them up a little bit, get a little color on them. Or as I said, you could do this in the grill. So, it depends on how many sausages you want to do. I love leftovers. I think they're great. You could throw the leftovers in spaghetti sauce. So anywhere from 8 to 12 Italian sausages. Now this sandwich is going to need a really nice, hearty, toasted roll to stand up to this kind of messy, saucy sandwich. So I'm just doing a little olive oil, or you could do butter on some crusty French bread or a sub roll. Season those rolls. I'm going to with a little bit of garlic salt, and I'm going to pop them in the oven just for a little bit to get them nice and crunchy. If you were to put it on a wimpy, soft bun, the whole thing would just fall apart in your lap, and that wouldn't be very fun. So, Ann, did you watch the game yesterday? Wasn't it fun? It was, as Ann said, it was less hard on the heart. Totally agree. Yeah. The week before, I don't think I had any fingernails left. I mean, oh my gosh, it was so scary down to the wire. But 5-2, that's a pretty great start. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. So, anyway, yeah, that was really, really exciting. So my sausages are starting to get a little bit of color, and one of my secrets for cooking in your slow cooker is, man, these slow cooker liners are fantastic. I wish I would have invented them, but they just make cleanup a breeze. Scrubbing a slow cooker is not very fun, so this gets rid of that whole thing. You just line the slow cooker with these liners, which you can just pick up right at the grocery store. Now I'm going to take my sausages that are just have a little bit of color on them now. And now these Italian sausages, we're using sweet Italian sausages, but if you like spicy, you could do the hot. But they also come in like chicken and turkey if you wanted to lighten them up a little bit, and they really have great flavor. They're all delicious. So I want to, one of my favorite parts about Italian sausage sandwiches, besides the sausage, are the veggies, the onions and the peppers that are just kind of falling out over the sandwich when you bite into it. So we're going to take some onion, quite a bit, 1 to 2 big onions, slice them up a little bit, and green pepper. Sometimes I'll do the yellow and the red pepper too. And I'm going to leave it pretty chunky because the slow cooker will, if you do them too thin, they're going to kind of disappear on you. House is going to smell good when you're doing this, let me tell you. So sometimes I'll do the yellow and the red, so it's up to you. This time of year there's a lot of peppers out there still from the farmer's market and people's gardens. So, although we had that frost, so I think things are going to be wrapping up as far as the growing season goes. Okay. Just want to get a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor on these guys. Season them with a little garlic salt again. And while these are getting a little color, I want to mention some of the details of our next big night out. Last week we announced on the show that, yep, we've got another big night out coming up, and you are invited. These are so much fun. If you've never been, you need to come. And if you've been, you know what fun they are. What we do is we team up with an area restaurant, and the goal is to get you into a restaurant that you might not have tried before, so in supporting some of the wonderful local restaurants we have. So this time we're teaming up with a restaurant in the Kaukauna area. It's called Little Chicago, and the meal, wow, the menu is, let me just say that we're not going to leave there hungry. First course is your choice of a seafood chowder or their homemade tomato basil soup. Second course, strawberry salad with a strawberry poppy seed vinaigrette dressing. There are 2 main courses. There's a steak course, tenderloin Diane served with seasoned baby red potatoes, and then a wonderful mushroom gravy over the top. Also, there's a surf course, so it's surf and turf. Potato crusted haddock with grilled asparagus with a wonderful sauce over that. And finally, if that wasn't enough, for dessert, their famous homemade chocolate cobbler, and they're going to serve that with a classic white dove ice cream drink. And a couple of the other courses are served also with your choice of wines, red or white wine. So it is going to be a spectacular evening, $50 only per person, so really a great deal. It's going to fill up very quickly, so please call today to reserve your spot. The number is right there on the screen, 920-462-4393. And if you want to look at the menu yourself, discuss it a little bit, you can just go to our website, fox11online.com. And if you click on the Living tab, you'll see that big red, black, and white box that says Big Night Out, and you'll see all the details right there on that. Thank you, Ann. The price point and the full menu, it'll all be there. Okay, time to start finishing up these sandwiches. Let me check on my rolls, by the way. Ooh, they're almost there. I'm going to throw them on broil for a second. Okay, so now we're going to take the onions and the peppers that, again, we've just really quickly sauteed. So this is a great make-ahead. If you're having a bunch of people over, this is a great way to roll. Just get it all done, park it in your slow cooker, and everybody can help themselves to the sandwiches when they're ready. You could put a salad out there, a veggie dip tray, the sides right out there on your kitchen table or your kitchen island, and let everybody help themselves. Now we're going to throw in some spaghetti sauce. Some of the jars are bigger than others, so it depends how many sausages you have. So 1 to 2 jars of your favorite marinara sauce, spaghetti sauce, whatever's on sale. There's always a little bit of sauce stuck in that jar, so I love to throw a little water in there. And that way you get every little last bit of the sauce out of the jar, and the jar is ready for the recycling bin. So it's kind of a twofer there. Now we're going to season this up with some oregano and some basil or dried Italian seasoning just to give it some more flavor. And last but not least, this is optional. You don't have to do this, but a little splash of a dry red wine. We're using the Door Peninsula red wine. They're a wine sponsor of our show. We love supporting local, all sorts of great wine that they make there. Fruity wines and more dry wines. They also have some fun wines for Halloween. So just a little splash. This is something my mom used to always put a little splash of wine when she was making her homemade spaghetti sauce. Same idea. Takes that jar kind of flavor of the sauce and kind of takes it to a whole other level and makes it taste like it doesn't come out of a jar. So it's a nice little shortcut there. Our rolls are getting nice and toasty. This is what you're looking for, a little bit of color. So this goes on. You go out the door, do your thing. A couple of hours, and those sausages are going to continue to cook through, and those peppers are going to get really nice and tender. Okay, so come with me. I want to show you how wonderful these look and smell. Your house will smell amazing. This is a really good kid-friendly dish because most kids love all the flavors of this. Thank you, Ann. And I'm looking for a big spoon, too. And if they don't like the onions and the peppers, they can just, avoid them when they're serving this up. So we're going to take a nice roll, crusty roll. And it's up to you if you want to cheese it up at the end and throw it back in the oven to melt that cheese. Like I say, these are a little messy, but that's okay. And then we'll get some of the onions that have softened up and the peppers. Get out the napkins, because maybe even wear a bib, because there is no way to eat this without getting a little messy. Parmesan or mozzarella cheese. Now these are so hot that cheese is going to melt pretty much right away, but if you want it really, really melty, you can throw it back in the oven. But there you go, my Italian sausage sandwiches in the slow cooker. This is a really fun recipe for fall, so why not make it? We'll put the recipe on our website, so it'll be right there for you, so you can make it at home.